Students, we are studying all about software, and we are studying about what is software and what are its two types, okay, and system software and application software, and the categories of system software also we have seen, okay. So we have seen what is software, we have seen what is system software, operating system, language processors, device drivers, and utility softwares we have covered. So what we are going to study next? Yes, we are going to study next about application softwares and its two types. And its two types. So shall we go to first one? What is application software? We are going to study about what is application software. Okay. Let me start with an example. So can you tell me who am I? You don't know my name, right? So no need of my name. So I'm your computer teacher. I'm your computer teacher. So I'm good in teaching computer science. If you ask me to teach maths, will I be able to teach you properly? I know maths for some extent, but in detail, I'm good only in computer science because I'm a computer teacher. So I'm specialized in computer science. Okay, then science teacher will be specialized only in science. If you ask them to teach computer science, it will be difficult for them to teach, right? Similarly, some softwares are there. Okay, there are some softwares which are specialized to do particular task. They will do only one task. As I teach only computer science, some softwares will do only one particular task. Okay, they are very good in doing that particular task, not anything else. That is called application software, which is called application software. So application software means it's a type of software which are specialized in doing a particular task, Okay, let me write it here. Application software is a software and it is specialized to do particular task, only the particular task, okay. Yes, and it is specialized to do a particular task. These softwares will do one particular task in a great manner. It cannot interfere with other tasks, okay. So that is called application software. So let me give you an example, then you will understand. Everyone are familiar with Microsoft Word document, right? Okay, so what do you do with this Microsoft Word? What do you do with this Microsoft Word? You just type it. Type any essay or paragraph or poems and make it colorful. Okay, make it attractive. That is what you do with Microsoft Word. Can you make drawings, okay, the colorful paintings with the help of Microsoft Word? No, right? You cannot do drawings with Microsoft Word. So MS Word, can you do colorful painting and drawings using MS Word documents? It is not possible, right? So with MS Word, you can only type and make the document more attractive. So MS Word is specialized for making documents, making only documents. Then what is useful for making the painting and colorful drawings? Yes, it is MS Paint. And if you take a MS Paint, in MS Paint, you can just make colorful drawings and paintings. Will you be able to make a colorful essay, attractive essay using MS Paint? No. MS Paint, it's especially for drawing purpose. So each software will do only one particular task. Each software will do only one particular task. It's called application software. It's called application software. So what is application software? It's a type of software, okay, and it is specialized to do a particular task. It is specialized to do a particular task, okay. So examples can we write? What are the examples we can write? Microsoft Word, MS Word, okay. So examples: MS Word And what it is specialized for? It is specialized for making documents. Okay, creating documents, creating document files. Okay, then MS Paint. Okay, MS Paint. What is the purpose of MS Paint? What MS Paint is specialized for? It is specialized for creating drawings. Okay, making drawings and paintings. To do drawings and paintings. And Microsoft PowerPoint. So what we do with the PowerPoint, we create only presentations. We create only presentations. We cannot make a wonderful document, attractive document or a painting over in Microsoft PowerPoint. So which is specialized for only presentations. Okay. So MS PowerPoint for creating presentations. For creating presentations. Okay, so these are not only the list extends. I have given only 3 examples, but there are n number of softwares are there. N number of softwares are there. Okay, and there are some softwares. You can take it in a hospital. They will be having a software and having all the details of the patients who are all admitted, who are all coming in inpatient and outpatient details. Okay, so in that hospital software, they are maintaining the details of the patients who comes and takes treatment. Okay, so that is that software. It's specialized only for their hospital. We cannot use that software. So these are the different types of softwares. They do only that particular task. They do only one particular task. They are specialized in creating that particular task. So, did you understand what is mean by application software? So, it is a type of software which is specialized to do a particular task. Okay, which will do only one particular task in a great manner. All right, and the examples we studied is Microsoft Word or a Paint or a PowerPoint or any software which is used in a hospital. They are all examples of application softwares. They are all examples of application softwares. Now, this application software has two types, which has two types. Let's see what are they. Application softwares are of two types. One is general purpose application software and another one is specific purpose application software. Okay. So from the name itself you can identify what is mean by general and what is mean by specific. General. General in the sense it's common to all. It's common to all. Everyone can buy this software and use it. Everyone can buy the software and use it. Say for example, Microsoft Word. Okay. So when you buy a computer, by default, some softwares will be there. They are common for all. Okay, so and if you are going and buying a Microsoft Word document, the shopkeeper will definitely give a software to you. They will give a CD to you. No one say that no, you are not supposed to use this Microsoft Word. Okay, no one will say that you are not supposed to use Microsoft Word because it's common for all. Anyone in the world can buy Microsoft Word and use it. Okay, there are some softwares which are common for all people, common for all. They are called general purpose application softwares. They are called general purpose application software. Okay. Again, I'll repeat it. General means which is common to all. Okay. So Microsoft Word is common to everyone. Okay, then Microsoft PowerPoint is also common to everyone. The game software, that's also common to everyone. It doesn't matter that only 5A students can play this particular game and 5B it's not supposed to play this game. No, never ever. The games are common for all. You can just go and buy the CD and you can play it in your home. They are called general purpose. Okay, and if you take a specific purpose, you can take the example of hospital. In a hospital, they have a software. In that software, they are maintaining the patient details, the inpatient and outpatient. So if I go to hospital and if I ask them to, can you please give me your hospital software, will they give it to me? First of all, they won't give the software. Secondly, even if they give the software to me, is there any use of that software? I'm a teacher. What I will do with that hospital software? It's not going to be useful for me because which contains only the hospital informations, the patient details. So it is not designed for me. That is designed only for that particular hospital. That is designed only for that particular hospital. The hospital doctors and staffs can access that software. No one else can access it and no use of it. That means specific purpose. That means specific purpose software, application software. So that is a difference between these two softwares. General purpose means which is common for all the people in the world. Anybody can buy the software and use it in their computer. Specific means which is designed for a particular organization and for particular purpose. Only they can use it. It is designed by an individual or a group of people for an organization. Only they can use it. Nobody else can use it. That is only for the specific purpose for their hospital. And we can take the our school. School has a software, right? So we can take that in tab. Okay, everyone has a username and password. So if anybody who is not studying in the school, can they take the software from the school? Do we give the software username and password to the unknown person? No, definitely we won't give. Even if somebody is getting also, there is no use for them because each and every student according to their class, fifth or sixth or seventh, okay, they have a classes videos uploaded. We don't know who is buying the software, who is getting the software and who is watching the video, and it definitely it's not going to be useful for others. Okay, only our students, the software it's NTAB, it's created for our students and only with our school login IDs only we can log in and study our lessons. So they are example for specific purpose softwares, specific purpose application softwares. Okay. Now, what are the functions of or characteristics of this general purpose application software? So they are very easy to use and understand. If you take Microsoft Word, you can see so many icons are placed, okay? And there is icon you will be knowing. B. So what does this icon represents? It makes the letters bold. It makes the letters bold in size, okay? Then italic. If you select the text and click on this I icon, then the letters will become italic. Then if you press U, that means underline. If you select a particular text and click on this U icon, the selected text will have an underline. Okay, so it is user friendly. It is user friendly and easy to use and understand. Easy to use and understand. And most probably, this general purpose application softwares, they are built in with the operating system. Okay, most probably they are built in with the operating system. When you buy a computer and the operating system, it will be inside that. It will be built in. Okay? So anybody can use this general purpose application software. Okay. The maintenance, there is no maintenance cost for this general purpose software because once you buy the software, just you load it in the computer, lifelong it will be there. Okay. There is if there is any new update, okay, 2007 Microsoft Word 2007 2010, whenever there is a new update comes, that time you can buy, otherwise no maintenance cost. Okay, and also it is cheaper, if you go for a newer version also, it's not going to cost you a lot. It is cheaper in cost. So these are all its functions or characteristics, you can say. All right. So first, what did I say? It's easy to use and understand. Second one, okay, let me write it here. Easy to use and understand. The second one, yes, it is almost built in with the operating system. Many of the general purpose softwares are built in with OS, built in with OS. Then next one, cheaper cost. Okay, it's not going to cost a lot. Cheaper cost. Then next one, yes, uh, there is no maintenance charges. No need to maintain maintenance charges applicable. No maintenance charges are there. Okay. So these are the features of a general purpose application software. And if you take, all of you take your text, page number 7. Yes, you can look at the table. Here, they have given the name of the softwares and their purpose, okay, and examples. And examples they have given. They have given 2 or 3 examples for each software. Okay. So first to see the first one, it's word processing software. That means creating documents. So which software you know to create documents? Yes, it is MS Word. Okay. So the purpose of this word processing software is typing, editing, and formatting documents, making the document attractive. We use word processing. So what are the softwares or examples? MS Word, LibreOffice Writer, Google Docs, Word Perfect, Corel, Text Editor, etc. They are all example for word processors. Similarly, they have given example for spreadsheet programs, okay, to create a database, then presentation graphics, database management, desktop publishing, graphics, multimedia. They have given what are their purposes and what are the example softwares they have given, and you have to go through this table and keep it in mind. It's easy to understand, okay? So word means creating a document. Presentation means to create a presentation. Okay? For any topic, any seminar, we can use a presentation software to create a presentations. Then spreadsheet means for making calculations. Okay. So the question may be the software used to make calculations is spreadsheet. Example for spreadsheet softwares are MS Excel, LibreOffice Calc, Google Sheets, KSpread, Lotus 123. They are examples for spreadsheet softwares. Then database management system. So managing huge number of data. Okay, we are using database management system like Oracle, SQL. These are all example for database management system. Okay. Then next one, desktop publishing. Desktop publishing means combining the text and graphics together. Okay, so that is called desktop publishing. The examples are CorelDRAW, PageMaker, Adobe InDesign, Microsoft Publisher, etc. They are example softwares. Then graphics, to create a graphics, that is to create images, to we can edit it, we can make a movement, we can create animations. So many softwares are there. Like you can take an example of a Scratch, okay, that is animation software, Types. So many animation softwares are there. Photoshop, GIMP, Adobe Fireworks, they are all for creating animations. Then multimedia software. So Like you can create animations, videos, clippings, everything combined together and make a animation. So there are many animation softwares: Windows Movie Maker, okay, game software, Windows Media Player, VLC, etc. So these are all the general purpose. These softwares anybody in the world can buy and install in their computer and use it. No one will object for buying this software. So they are called general purpose software. Okay, general purpose means commonly used by everyone. Anybody can buy and use it. That is called general purpose application software. Is it clear for everyone? Good. The next one is specific purpose. Okay, specific purpose application software. That is what we are going to study now. Next is specific purpose application software. As I said, it is designed for a specific purpose, which is again designed for a specific purpose, which only that particular organization or a company who designed that software only can use it. Not everyone. Okay? Not everyone can use the specific purpose software, and this software, it's again it is called as tailor mode software or customized software. Okay, it is also called as tailor mode software or customized application software. Okay, and this is designed by an organization or an individual person for their individual use. For their organization's purpose, no one can use that software. Only that organization and the employees can use it, not anybody else. And the best example, as I said before, the hospital. You can take any hospital. Each and every hospital has their own software, and they are maintaining the inpatient and outpatient details. Okay, and the details about each and every patient. So if a patient is admitted for any purpose, so from starting from the scratch, they will until the discharge, they will be having all the details about the patients. Okay, which doctor they met, what type of treatment they have undergone, the payment they made, their details, everything will be there in that software. That is only for that hospital. And can you tell me any other software like this? It's created by an organization and only that organization can use that software. Can you tell me any software? Yes, you can take a bank. So in a bank, they have a software. They have that particular software has the customers, the account holders details and the amount they have in your account, the amount deposited, the amount withdrawn, the credited amount, and all the details, all the transactions of their account will be there in the bank software. So will it be useful for us? Can I use that software? No, right? So that is for a specific purpose that is created by bank, okay, by an organization, and which will be useful only for the bank employees. Those employees only can access and work on it. Okay, then you can say, you can take example of railway ticket booking. Okay, so many examples, and then school management system, school management, payroll of a company, everything comes under this specific purpose software, specific purpose application software, which is also known as tailor mode software or customized software. So these are all about specific purpose application software. So clear for everyone? The last topic we are going to cover is software piracy. The last topic is software piracy. Let's see what it is. Let's see what is meant by software piracy. Okay, so let me give you an example. Say for example, you have written a beautiful story. You have written a Beautiful story. A very good moral is in that story, and you are showing that story to your class teacher and your classmates. The teacher is appreciating in front of all the students, and you are feeling very happy about that proud moment. At the same time, one of the classmates copying your story and publishing the same. How do you feel in her or his or her name? And taking all the, let's see what is software piracy. For example, you have written a very good story by your own, a good moral story, and you have shown, you are coming to school and you are showing the story to your classmates as well as to your class teacher. After reading the story, class teacher appreciates you in front of all the students. At the same time, one of your classmates steal the story of yours, okay, and just publishing the story with his or her name and taking all the credit. Actually, the story is yours, but your classmate has stolen the story and taken all the credit. How do you feel? You feel very disappointed and cheated, right? That is not correct, right? So others not supposed to take your story and publish it. So that is a violation. Okay? That is a violation. That is not, no one supposed to do that. And your creative work, your story and your creative work, it's termed as intellectual property. It is termed as your creative work, it's termed as intellectual property. So your story and your creative work, it's termed as intellectual property. That is, for example, I said, okay, you're writing a story, a good story, somebody else is stealing the story and taking all the credit. Okay, that time you feel very disappointed. Now, just let's come to the chapter software. So we are studying about the software. It's all about software. Okay, so somebody is creating a software. Okay. So they are just giving to someone else, maybe their friend. What their friend is doing is just taking the software and just putting their name and publishing it and taking all the credit. That is called software piracy. Software piracy means just violating the rules. Whenever the software is published, there will be a end user license agreement. End user license agreement to protect the software from copyright violation. Copyright violation. Okay, I'll repeat it. Whenever there is a software comes, okay, which has an end user license agreement. Okay, every software has end user license agreement. So software has a end user license agreement. For what purpose they are having? To protect their software. To protect their software from copyright violation. Copyright violation or infringement, you can say. Okay. So for what reason? To protect software from copyright infringement. So what is meant by infringement? Violating the rules, violating the copyright, violating rules. The another word for violating rules is infringement. Okay, so it's nothing but violation, violating rules and regulation. It's called infringement. Okay, every software has a end user license agreement. For what reason? To protect the software from copyright violation. To protect the software from copyright violation. Okay, and we have to just follow the copyright. You can see copyright, say for example, you can see this is a textbook, 5th standard textbook, and here it is written specimen copy are not for sale. So this is for teacher's copy. So can you take a printout of as it is, like many copies, and sell it? Can I do? No, right? I'm not supposed to do it. Okay. If I do, then I am punishable. If I do that, then I am punishable. That is for the textbook I'm talking. Similarly, for the softwares also, softwares are coming. Some softwares are coming with a free of cost. What we have to do is we have to use the software. We are not supposed to copy the software and in many CDs and sell it for others. That is violation. That is called software piracy. Okay. So sorry, every software has an end user license agreement to protect the software from copyright violation. And there are softwares. Okay. They say that in a copyright they will say that you can just use download the software and also original software, download the original software, and also take a copy of this same software as a backup. So we already studied what is mean by backup, right? So in case anything happened to the original software, you can use the another one. So in this case, what we have to do is the softwares, we have to download the original software and we have to take a copy for a backup, copy for backup. And in case anything damaged, anything wrongly happened, then we can use a copy. Otherwise, we are not supposed to take the copy and take another copy of the same and sell it to others. And if we do so, that is punishable. That is punishable, which is called software piracy. Illegal use of software, it's called software piracy. We can see the greatest software companies like IBM, Google, Apple, Microsoft, they are creating and designing new softwares on a daily basis. So those softwares has a license agreement at the end user license agreement. We are not supposed to violate the agreement. If we are buying the software, we are using the software, we have to use. We are not supposed to sell it to others. Okay? So that is called software piracy. I hope everyone understand what is software piracy. That is an illegal use of softwares are called software piracy. Illegal use. It's called software piracy. Okay, so the portion it's over now. Within 2 classes we completed the portion. I hope everyone understood what is software and what are its types and classification of each types of softwares, examples, everything. Let us revise what we studied so far. And also I have given questions at the end of this video. Try to answer these questions and study the text also. So one complete chapter is over. I will post question and answer by tomorrow. You can copy that in your computer notebook. If you have any queries, you can just ping me. Thank you, students. Have a great day. Students, let us revise what we studied together in this chapter. You can also check your knowledge, what you know now. Fine. The first topic we covered is what is software. So do you remember what is software? Yes, it's a program which consists of set of instructions that tells the computer what to do. And what are the two types of softwares? System software and application software. Clear? Next, we studied about the two types of softwares in details. The system software, it's divided into many categories, and we have gone through four categories, namely operating system, language processors, device drivers, and utility programs. And this language processors has three types. What are they? Yes, assembler, interpreter, and compiler. Good. And utility programs, how many utility programs or utility tools we have seen? Yes, we have seen four utility programs. What are they? Antivirus software, file management tools, compression software, backup tools. So which makes our work, that is not ours, operating system softwares work smoothly. Next, application software, and its types are general purpose application software and specific purpose application software. General means which is common for all people. Anybody can buy and use that particular software. Okay. And specific means which is designed or created by a person or an organization for their own purpose. We cannot go and buy that software and use it. It is no use for us. So these are the two types of application softwares. Then finally we studied about software piracy, means illegal use of software. It's called software piracy. So this is all about the chapter. I hope everyone understood the chapter. Students, answer all these questions in your computer notebook. I'll give you the answer by tomorrow. You can verify your answers with mine. Also, I will be sending notes for the questions which are given in the textbook. You please copy that question and answer also when I post it. Thank you. Have a great day. Stay home, stay safe.